Welcome to our DVD about Parkinson's. My name's Shazia and I have been a carer for my mum since she was diagnosed with Parkinson's over 10 years ago. Whether you've recently found out you have Parkinson's or someone you know has been diagnosed, this DVD will help you to learn a little more about the condition. In this DVD, you'll meet other people affected by Parkinson's and find out how they've taken control of life with this condition. If you've been diagnosed with Parkinson's or have heard that someone you know has Parkinson's, this can be a big shock.
And initially I was depressed and didn't know what to do.
So when I was diagnosed Parkinson's, I was shocked.
I think I'm managing very well. That's my own understanding.
I said, it's a condition, I'm not going to allow it to take over me, so I keep positive.
When my mother was diagnosed, it came as a real shock to me, my family and friends.
So my orthopedic consultant referred to neurologist, and that's where he said, you got Parkinson. By making you walk up and down, and you know the clinical test what they do? They just they make you do this and just walk straight, turn back. And I say, how can he do it without just telling X-ray or anything that I got Parkinson?
After some time, I lose my balance. And then one time I fell down on a stair, and one time I fell down a garden also. And I told to my doctor, and I told the doctor clerk also in a city hospital, how I will lose my balance.
When I went to my mom's funeral in Sri Lanka, my brother, who is a doctor, he told me that I got Parkinson, go and check it out. On my return, I asked the GP to refer me to the consultant. And the consultant, as I walked into the door, he told me, your brother is right, you got Parkinson.
Firstly, I didn't know much about Parkinson, so I thought, okay, it's one of the things which gets to old people. I'm not old yet, so that's the only thing I knew about Parkinson. But when I knew about it, a lot of young people had it too. So it was sort of numb reaction. I just didn't know whether to feel sad or not being cured, or I didn't know much about whether it's condition to manage.
When I was diagnosed Parkinson's, I was shocked and I feel very, very bad. And then my husband was very supportive. He said we have to accept it, and then slowly, I accepted.
When I was told that I got Parkinson, I went through the computer and read all about it, all the details and what is the future and all that. And initially I was depressed and didn't know what to do. Then I thought myself, I'm not going to sit down and let this take with me, because it's not an illness, it's a condition. So I started saying, I'm not going to lie down and take it, I'm going to fight it.
One of the first things many people want to know is what Parkinson's is and how it may affect their health and life in general. In the next section, we'll hear from Dr. Nin Bajaj, a consultant neurologist who is a specialist in Parkinson's. He will answer some of these questions and more.
Parkinson's is a condition of the brain. There are cells that control movement, and when those cells die, you might get the symptoms of Parkinson's. These symptoms might include slowness of walking. You might start falling and tripping. You might even get a tremor. What people are not so aware of is the non-motor symptoms of Parkinson's that cover a whole array of things. People's memory might not be so good. Their behaviour might change. They might feel sad or depressed. The illness can even affect their bowels, and they might become constipated. It can even affect their skin and the way they sweat. The diagnosis of Parkinson's is largely clinical. What that means is that the clinician will take a history from you and examine you, and in the vast majority of cases, the combination of those two things is enough to make a secure diagnosis of Parkinson's. Once you've seen your GP and your GP feels that you might have Parkinson's, it is very important that you are referred to a Parkinson's specialist to confirm that diagnosis and start you on the best treatment possible from the word go. If you get any of these symptoms, you must see your GP. your GP will send you to a specialist who will diagnose Parkinson's and will start you on the right treatment from very early on. Parkinson's is a very variable condition. No two people have the same type. If you have Parkinson's, you can't look at someone else and say that'll be me in 1 year or 2 years. Parkinson's not only varies between individuals, but varies in the same person markedly from day to day and from week to week. Unfortunately, currently, there isn't a cure for Parkinson's. Many people around the world are working on this. We do, however, have a range of treatments which can make the symptoms better and can make people look almost back to normal and feel almost back to normal. Some of you might worry about giving Parkinson's to your children. It's actually very rare for that to happen. It's not often that we find families with more than one member having Parkinson's as a condition.
Now we'll find out a bit more about how Parkinson's is managed. There are several drugs available that manage the symptoms of Parkinson's, but there is also a wide range of other things that people find helpful to manage their condition. Everything from therapies, such as speech and language therapy, to exercising and eating healthily. We'll hear about what treatments health professionals can offer, and we'll also hear from people with Parkinson's about some other ways they manage their symptoms.
The symptoms which I have is generally controlled by the medicine. If I don't take the medicine, I can't walk, which make me frustrated.
Because when you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, I look tired, I look depressed, and that's how all I felt, and just brushed it aside. Because everybody's life, when children leave your home, you feel depressed anyway, so you don't know what to relate to. I would have never thought of Parkinson's.
And because she's a bit slow in getting in and out of bed, in and out of car, so I had to give her more time to do the things. So the things are not as bad as one would have expected, because the medication is working, she's feeling better, and she's under regular supervision. I'm quite understanding of how she feels and what she needs. So I'm giving her more time to get ready and do the things. So you've got to be very patient with Parkinson's.
And then this time consultant 6 months ago with his appointment started me on this new medication, which I hesitated, do I want another medication? I take so many medicines for my diabetes, then Parkinson, do I want it? And then I said, okay, I will have a go. And I think that's the best thing I must have done, because a lot of friends have seen my improvement.
When I take my medicine, they reduce me to shaking my hands.
Dopamine, in fact, is the mainstay of treatment for Parkinson's, and you're very likely to be put on it. I don't want you to be afraid of this drug. I want you to realise that this drug was first discovered in India some 2,000 years ago in a plant called the Indian velvet bean. Almost 60% of the leaves of that plant contain dopamine. It took us in the West another 2,000 years to really rediscover dopamine. It wasn't made in the laboratory until the 50s and wasn't really used in patients until the late 60s. So I want you to embrace dopamine as an Indian remedy. You might come across other remedies for Parkinson's when you visit healers, either in India or in your community here in the UK. It's always important to discuss what those healers give you with your GP or with your specialist. It's important that whatever you take is safe. Some of the things those healers might give you might actually contain chemicals like dopamine, but it's important to make sure that those natural products that you take don't react with the medications your GP or your specialist might give you.
Medication helps with the mood swings as soon as, because they act actually on your nerve system. You can see the difference when your tablet should be taken. If you don't take it after 2-3 hours, you will find more shake on your hand. Or may not be anything to do with it, but because doctors stress that you have to take your medication on time, you really try to do it. And for me, I found out using mobile and home phone, You put the alarms on so everybody knows your time is there.
Your religion might affect the way you feel about Parkinson's, might even affect the way you take your treatment. Parkinson's is not a curse from God. It's not because you've done something wrong. It's a condition like many other conditions that people get. One thing that's really important is that when you're given pills for Parkinson's, you take them on time. It's important to take them on time and spaced out throughout the day. And that includes periods when, for religious reasons, you might want to fast. It's really important that you try and maintain taking your pills at regular times, even with little sips of water, even during a fasting period. If you're uncertain about this, please discuss it with your GP or your specialist, and they can give you appropriate advice on this.
1 year this was quite early on in her condition, so she'd only been diagnosed for a couple of years. She fasted, and that was quite a big mistake because she didn't want to give up fasting as it's such an integral part of being a Muslim. She ended up, her condition worsened during that month because obviously she wasn't able to take her tablets on time. She now pays zakat to make up for her not being able to fast, and I think you shouldn't feel forced to fast because it is totally fine. Her friends and family accept it, and it's more important for you to be healthy, and God wouldn't want you to suffer in that way.
There are a class of drugs that we use in Parkinson's which are known as dopamine agonists. If you are started on these by your clinician, it's very important that you and your family are aware that sometimes these pills can affect behaviour. The behavioural changes might appear in different ways. You might find that you become more impulsive. You might start shopping more. You might start eating more. You might even start gambling. It's very important that you are personally aware of the way your behaviour might change, and that your family are very aware so that they can inform your clinician and that your pills can be altered if this occurs.
And every time I go for consultant's appointment, he will ask, how is your gambling, or are you inclined towards it? Or one of the things that he said is not just gambling, but you tell your friends to be aware of your condition, and if you are, what he said, that you out of character you act, you are taking chances and things, so let your friends be aware of that and stop you doing anything nasty. So it's good fun to, so far I've been managing without doing anything, but my friends have to keep an eye on me.
Another one of the challenges of having Parkinson's, if you're from a South Asian background, is how you cope with travelling and how you cope with going back home. Pills for Parkinson's are given quite regularly throughout the day. If you go on a long haul journey, that can change the whole time zone that you're in and affects the time that you take your pills. You need to reset your body clock as quickly as you can and try and space out your pills so that they're taken regularly throughout the day, even when you move to a new time zone. It's also really important that you don't run out of your pills when you go to your home country. Some of the medications we use for Parkinson's are not widely available outside Europe and the US. You need to chat to your GP to take adequate amounts of pills so that you don't run out when you visit your relatives abroad. When you go abroad, you might feel ashamed about having Parkinson's. You might not want your relatives in your home country to know about the illness. It's important that you don't feel that way. It's important that you accept having this condition as part of your life from now on. It's important that you help your relatives understand that you have this condition, and it's not something to be ashamed about. It's just another condition that needs managing, just as blood pressure or diabetes might need managing. There's a variety of professionals who are involved in the care of people with Parkinson's. It's not all about doctors. Dietitians play an important role in making sure patients have a healthy, balanced diet. Some people with Parkinson's might actually lose quite a bit of weight, and it's important that they get the right amount of calorific intake. We also have occupational therapists who look at how that patient is managing in their own home, and they help to see if there are any modifications in the house that are required, or whether certain aids might help in helping that patient walk around their home or manage their bath or manage in their kitchen. Physiotherapists play a very important role in helping patients with Parkinson's walk as good as possible. We know that the involvement of physiotherapists can prevent falls and lead to smoother walking and better walking. Speech therapists also play a very important role. The voice can be affected in Parkinson's and become quite quiet and mumbly, and speech therapists can help people with Parkinson's throw their voice better. Swallowing is also an issue in Parkinson's, and speech therapists will evaluate the swallow in people with Parkinson's and perhaps modify the diet if that is required. Parkinson's nurse specialists are very involved in helping the Parkinson clinician in manage patients medically, and it's quite common for patients to either see a Parkinson's doctor or a Parkinson's nurse when they visit clinic. And finally, there are doctors who help manage Parkinson's. These are known as Parkinson's specialists. There are two main types. One type are neurologists who have an interest in brain disorders. The other type are care of the elderly physicians who have an interest in Parkinson's. It is common for these two groups of doctors to work together in managing patients with this condition.
My Parkinson nurse check it up for me, how I do with my medicine. Then she check it up for me every 6 months.
It's very important to remain active with Parkinson's. Exercise plays a very important role, and if you do enough of the right kind of exercise, you can actually make more dopamine in your brain and make your movements even better. It's also important to maintain a good, healthy, balanced diet.
Doing the exercise is help the Parkinson because one of the symptoms is stiffness of the body. By doing the exercise, the stiffness is released, and that makes a lot easier for movement and things like that. And for everyday life, the more the exercise do, the better I feel. And I recommend that to everybody to do more exercise as often as possible.
When I do the exercise, I do it in a yoga and exercise just walking. Then I do it the garden exercise. Then I walk in the street, go in the center. I go in a bus also West Bromwich. Then I coming back. I take my time to coming back.
I play badminton twice a week, and I got a Wii machine which I do a lot of exercise when I'm not playing. And in the winter, if I can't go out anywhere, I got a treadmill in the garage which I run on it.
The way Parkinson's is looked at can vary quite a lot depending on your ethnic background. In some cultures, it's considered shameful to have a neurological problem, and people might therefore be ashamed to see their GP or to make their family members aware that they even have the condition. It's very important that you don't hide your symptoms. It's important that you seek help. If you seek help too late, you might not do as well as you might have done. It's important to get the help very early on and to be on the very best treatment right from the start.
I didn't want to hide it from anybody else. I told everybody honestly that I have got Parkinson, and especially my friends are very helpful and they're understanding.
I mean, some people like to hide their illnesses, but I don't. And I would like some of the people like my condition to come forward and take the help. If they don't go and see the nurses and physiotherapy and things, they are not going to manage the condition as well.
Now we'll find out more about what it's like to live with Parkinson's. People's experiences are very varied, as no two people are affected by Parkinson's in the same way.
Like speaking especially, your voice is dropping. So now I heard when I went to this Parkinson nurse, what you have to do is think loud. I never thought of that as think loud, so you can speak loud. So I found that very interesting. And another thing what our nurse advised was have mirrors everywhere in the house. So when you are not, naturally you start curving yourself, bending yourself.
When I go in the garden or outside, I was fell down or that's why sit down. I can't walk the distance up to when I go into up to 10 foot and I stop. And then afterward again going to 10, 20 foot, then I'll stop. I can't go straight because I'm going anytime I'm going to fall down.
Driving is normal. I'm normal in driving, but I got an automatic car as my left side is affected. So I got no problem driving with because the automatic. I don't have to put a clutch or anything like that. So I get on with all right.
That's the one thing you find difficult. Wearing saris is not as easy as it used to be. Wearing itself is okay, but managing, walking everywhere, doing things is not as easy. Before I used to do, throughout the year I used to wear sari to work and everything. Now I wear trousers and tops.
If you have Parkinson's and you are South Asian, there are other difficulties that you will have to manage. English might not be your first language, and it might be that the doctors that you see can't speak any other language but English. It might be that the nurses that you also work with also can't speak anything but English. It's very important that you get your message across. You must always make your GP aware that you will need a translator when you come to the hospital, or that you will take someone who can translate for you. Because if your doctor or your nurse can't understand what your problems are, then your care will not be as good as we would like it to be.
Whenever he got appointment with the doctor or nurse, I used to go with him. If I'm very free, I try to go with him and try to understand what the doctor says to him. And if he misunderstand, I tell him what the doctor is going to do.
If you have Parkinson's or someone you know has been diagnosed, knowing where to find answers to your questions or having someone to talk to can make a real difference. You may want to find out more about Parkinson's or get to know other people with the condition. You're not alone. Whenever you're ready, Parkinson's UK is there to support you. The charity offers a wide range of information, support and friendship at every stage of your Parkinson's journey. Here's some more information about the different ways Parkinson's UK can support you.
At Parkinson's UK, we have a free and confidential helpline. You can call if you have any questions or need information about Parkinson's. You can also get in touch if you just want to talk to someone about living with Parkinson's, or if you know someone with the condition, perhaps a friend, a family member, or a colleague even. So if you have any questions about managing your symptoms and medication, you can call and ask to speak to a specialist nurse. There are also advisors like me who can provide information about all aspects of living with Parkinson's. We also have a specialist benefits advisor who can help you make sure you're getting all the money you should be receiving. If you do not speak English or would prefer to speak to someone in your own language, like Tamil, Urdu, Bengali, or any South Asian language, you can call the helpline and request an interpreter. So if you do not speak any English at all, you could ask someone you know who does to arrange this for you. Our free phone helpline number is 0808 800 0303. It is open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m, Mondays to Fridays, and 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays. So the helpline can also put you in touch with your local Parkinson's UK information and support worker. They provide confidential one-to-one support to anyone affected by the condition, including family and friends. From information about benefits to emotional support, our information and support workers are here to help. They can also help you get your needs met by local support services and by working with health and social care professionals if needed. Information and support workers can speak to you on the phone if required, can visit you in your home. And it may be possible to arrange for an interpreter to be there if you need one. There are over 125 information support workers around the UK, so you are sure to find somebody local to support you. Our information and support workers and helpline can also put you in touch with one of our local groups, where you can find support and friendship and meet other people affected by Parkinson's. People find it really helpful to go along to meetings to share information about living with Parkinson's and how they are coping with it and learn from each other. I would really like to encourage our Asian community to attend these groups and possibly form new groups. This will really enable and give it an Asian flavour. Some groups run exercise classes and many have social events where you can have fun and relax with other people affected by the condition. We also have a website and covers all aspects of Parkinson's, from information about living with the condition to news about research. You can also find all our publications, booklets and leaflets on our website, and including our translated leaflets and booklets. These are available in Urdu, Hindi, Punjabi, Bengali, Gujarati and Tamil. You can also order these publications by calling our helpline on 0808 800 0303.
People who diagnosed with Parkinson to join the local group and take part in the activities and learn more about it. Not only that, when you go there, you talk to other people who suffer from Parkinson and exchange ideas and how they come around or solutions to problems, which will be helpful to everybody.
I have joined this active steps class, which is really good, and that's where I meet a lot of people with Parkinson. And your exercises are not like aerobic exercises or things. They are designed for your balance and showing how to use your muscles, and so those exercise classes are good.
As well as the local groups network, helpline and information resources, Parkinson's UK is leading the research to develop better treatments and ultimately find a cure. The charity also campaigns for better services for people with Parkinson's, and we have plenty of exciting fundraising events and ideas to help raise money for everything we do. Parkinson's UK is here for everyone affected by Parkinson's. We're developing new ways of working with South Asian communities, and we'd really like you to be involved. Please get in touch with us.
ज़्यादा जानकारी के लिए आप पार्किंसंस यूके को कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं और वो आपको अपनी भाषा में सभी इंफॉर्मेशन दे सकते हैं.
पार्किंसंस यूके आपको बहुत अच्छी तरह से सपोर्ट करेंगे. आपको जो भी जानना होगा पार्किंसन के बारे में वो आपको समझाएंगे, अच्छी तरह से लुक आफ्टर करेंगे. सो आप पार्किंसन यूके को फ़ोन कर और कोई भी कमिटी से आपको मिल जाएगा, उसको सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं.
પાર્કિન્સન હોય તો ડરવાની કોઈ જરૂર નથી. તમારે આસ્તે આસ્તે બધું જ કામ કરવાનું. બાથમાં જઈ શકો છો, કંઈ પણ તમારે જાતિ કરો તો ઘણું સારું. એવું નહીં કે ઘરે બેસીને તમે ડરી જવાનું. તમે જાતે તમારે જવાનું, બસમાં જવાનું, જાતે નહીં જવાય તો કોઈ પણ તમારા ફ્રેન્ડ હોય એની સાથે જવાનું, પણ સાથે જવાનું. એટલે જેથી તમને કંઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ હોય તો તમે કહી શકો મને આવીને થાય છે, પણ ઘરે બેસી નહીં રહેવાનું. જેમ તમારાથી થાય एम जाते करवानो.
मैं पार्किंसन यूके की मेंबर हूँ, तो इसका मुझे बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ है. तो आप भी प्लीज़ 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 इसके मेंबर बनकर फ़ायदा उठाइए. वो आपके मीटिंग में जा सकते हैं, उधर से आपको सब इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी, तो ज़रूर मेंबर बन जाइएगा. मुझे बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ, तो प्लीज़ बिकम मेंबर और एन्जॉय योर पार्किंसन. डोंट वरी अबाउट पार्किंसन डिसीज़. It is there in the corner, but not for you. सो डोंट वरी, अपनी मेडिकेशन ठीक ठाक लेकर सब लाइफ एंजॉय करिए.
પાર્કિન્સન યુકે તમારી ઘણી જ સંભાળ રાખશે. તમને કંઈ પણ જરૂર હોય, મદદ જોઈતી હોય તો એ લોકો તમને જરૂરથી મદદ કરશે. એટલે તમે પાર્કિન્સન યુકેને સપોર્ટ કરજો.
உங்களால் ஆங்கிலம் பேச முடியாவிட்டால் ஒரு தமிழ் மொழி பெயர்ப்பாளர் வேண்டுமென்று தடை இல்லாமல் தயவுசெய்து பார்க்கின்சன்ஸ் UK ஹெல்ப்லைன் ஃபோன் பண்ணுங்க. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.